Hi, welcome to Jovie's home. I post new videos on Tuesdays and sometimes Thursdays. Today, I'm going to be telling you, well, this is like a 2-for-1 video. So first, I'm going to tell you why I love Dutch speeding tickets, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how they are in the States where I come from. And then the second part of this video is going to be a little bit of a rant about some stuff that has to do with driving and speeding tickets and stuff like that. So if that sounds good to you, then why don't you come on in, kick off your shoes and stay a while. I'm really glad you're here. So you guys, before we get into today's video, we are going to talk about our Dutch word of the day, and that word is penalty. So, you know, if you get a speeding ticket or something, you get a penalty. And the word for that in Dutch is boete. Boete. All right. Have we all said boete? Not boot. Not like the thing you wear on your feet. Boete. It's pretty cute. I like this word. I don't like the concept, but I like the word. Okay, you guys, small disclaimer, because it's not just Dutch people watching these videos. People watch from all over and get offended, and I don't want to offend anyone or upset anyone. We are going to be talking about speeding tickets, which implies that I have driven beyond the speed limit, hence my experience with speeding tickets. So you guys, I am not advocating for driving dangerously. I'm not saying you should ignore the speeding, what are they called? What are those even called? Speed limits? I'm not suggesting that you ignore speed limits, but I'm talking about everybody, I would say, like every driver in their lifetime has probably gotten a speeding ticket or two for, you know, like a reasonable few kilometers above the speeding, or above the speed limit. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if the limit is 50 and you're going 54. Okay, I'm not saying like the speed limit is 50 and you're going 150. Like that's not this video. This is just for speeding tickets for, like, you know, the kind of speeding that we all do. Okay, so that's it. Before I get to the point of why I love Dutch speeding tickets, let me explain to you how the system works in Arizona, which is where I'm from. So in Arizona, and probably in a lot of other states too, if you're watching this from another state other than Arizona, let us know below if your state is the same. But if you get a speeding ticket, even for like small, you know, like a few kilometers, or in Americans' cases, miles over the speed limit, you are going to have to pay a fine, but you're also going to lose points from your driving license. So each driver has a certain number of points that they can lose from their license before they actually lose their license. So think like, I don't know, if you get 3 or 4 speeding tickets in the course of like a couple of years, you can definitely lose your license for what I personally would consider minor infractions of driving. So that's what it goes. Then in Arizona, at least, this is how it works. If you get a speeding ticket and it's your first one in 2 years, then you have the ability, instead of paying the speeding ticket and instead of losing the points from your license, you can go to what they call driving school, and it's like a 1 day or like a few nights during the week, but it's like 8 hours of driving class. You're not like the Dutch drive, you're not having an instructor, but they're telling you about the dangers of driving and like refreshing your memory on like how to drive and stuff like that. But if you take this class, then you don't get the points removed from your license, and you don't, your car insurance doesn't go up, because that's another thing that happens in the States, is that if you get a speeding ticket, your car insurance is, it gets reported to your car insurance, and then your monthly or yearly or whatever, however you're paying it, your premium goes up for speeding. So it's not just for accidents, but it's also for small traffic infractions, which, okay. Now that you know all of that, let's get to why I freaking love getting a Dutch speeding ticket. That's comedy. Okay, don't take it seriously. I don't love speeding tickets, but this is why, if I'm gonna get one, I wanna get it here. And this is why. In the Netherlands, your speeding tickets are done in a way that each kilometer gets its own like amount. So every kilometer that you get above the speeding limit it's going to have its own cost associated with it. So for 1 kilometer, you're going to pay like, I don't know, 20 euros. For 2 kilometers, a few more euros. For 3 kilometers, a little bit more, things like that. So it's like a system that really penalizes you based on the severity of your speeding. So you get your fine that is based on how many kilometers over. However, there will also be an adjusted rate. So for example, let's say that you were driving 55 in a 50, they will usually say like adjusted, you know, and they will adjust like a couple kilometers, maybe up to 3 kilometers. So saying you were driving 50, we caught you going 55 in a 50, however, we're going to give you like credit, I guess. So just in case like there was an issue with the calibration of either your speedometer or the machine itself that caught you, so they give you like a little bit of a credit, let's say. So then you were going 55 in a 50, 3 kilometers credit, you were driving 2 kilometers over the speed limit, and then that's the fine that you pay for. So I feel like that's a pretty fair system. I also really like that it does not, my insurance is not affected by it. There's no points involved in it. So yeah, for these like misdemeanor or small speeding offenses, you're not going to lose your license. Certainly if you're going crazy speed limits and you're doing dangerous criminal level speeding, then yes, you will have more issues. But for these little ones, like, it doesn't happen like that. So for that reason, I love it. Thank you, Dutch system. I hope that stays that way. Not because I like speeding, but because, you know, when I was taking my driving test, the instructor called me James Bond. So you can imagine, I do like to I like to go, okay? I'm a busy girl. But no, don't speed. Don't be stupid. Like, don't be stupid. Be safe and be... Well, how many times are we going to talk about driving on this channel? I love talking about driving, as you can see. Moving on. Can I rant? I do want to rant, though, about some things that I've noticed and really bothers me. And that is speed traps. I'm thinking about one specifically that I know of in Delft, which is, there's this area. It's about maybe 3 kilometers of road, a straight road, and it starts 30 kilometers is the speed limit, then it goes to 50, then it goes to 70, then it goes to 50. And right at that junction where it goes from 70 to 50, they have a speed camera. So yes, you are decelerating from 70 to 50, but you can't do that in the exact moment that you see that the speed limit is now 50. It takes a little bit of time to, like, you know, slow down, push your brake, or what do you do if you're driving a stick shift? What's that called? Downshift? Is that what it's called? So it takes a few minutes, like not minutes, but like it takes a few seconds for your car to go from 70 to 50. And I just feel like it's such bullshit to put a speeding camera right there. Put it like a couple 100 meters lower, you know, when you've had the chance to decelerate and actually be within the rules. But when they catch you like right there in that zone, I don't feel like that's fair. Like, that's a really crappy bullshit way to do that, I would say. So that's like not fair. And I've seen that camera there for years. Like, that camera is permanent. I think that's like the biggest moneymaker for the city of Delft, because it's constantly there and it's constantly catching people who I don't think are intentionally speeding. You know, of course, but by the time that you go from 70 to 50, you need to go, it's 20 kilometers, and that takes time. And while you're getting there, you're actually trying to respect the law and obey the law, and yet you still get punished for it. And that's not okay. The other thing that I want to rant a little bit about, okay, it's about these new rules about phones, okay? Phones while driving. Now, here's the thing. I totally support initiatives that are banning texting and driving, because you are looking at your phone, you are not looking where you're driving, and that is dangerous. And I don't want any kind of dangerous activity like that. Like, I have little kids in the car, I don't want somebody hitting us. I am totally in agreement with that should be punished fully. What I disagree with is a fine that I got 2 years ago 2 years ago, I got a fine for actually being on the phone like this. Now, I don't think that you should be also driving like this. However, what is the difference of me being like this and driving versus, let's say I was a smoker and I was smoking in my car and driving? There is no difference. Like, I'm still paying attention. It's still one hand here. What if I was like, I don't know, scratching my head? Is that also really dangerous? What if I was picking my nose? Like, is that horrible? I don't, so there is a difference between this and this when you are not looking and not paying attention versus having your phone like this. I even explained to them that to the police why I had answered the phone, and not that some reasons are more important than others, but this really was like a medical issue that I was dealing with for my baby child. But anyway, it happened, and I just feel like that is such an injustice. Like, that's bullshit. Sorry, but it is. Because, yeah, we're all doing other things all the time in the car. You are not always, oh, excuse me. That's because I drive an automatic. You people who drive a standard car, you are shifted. You're busy with your hand all the time. Why is this okay and this is not okay? Can somebody explain that to me, please? I mean, I want to know what your thoughts are about this. Thank you guys so much for letting me rant. Thank you for just listening to my thoughts. I recently did get I recently got a speeding ticket for 2 kilometers over the speed limit, which is fine. I will pay it. I'm happy to pay my dues. If I make a mistake, I agree, but I do think that the punishment should fit the crime. That 240 euro ticket for answering that call did not fit the crime. Did not fit the crime, in my opinion. Okay. You guys, let me know your thoughts. If you are from other countries other than the Netherlands, let me know how your speeding tickets work. Do you get points? Is there a point system with your license or not? I'm really curious as to how everything works where you're from. So yeah, and if you're Dutch, tell me what you think about your speeding ticket system. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think now that I've explained to you kind of how it works in the States? And yeah, what do you also think about this texting and calling? Do you see it? Is there a difference to you between texting and just picking up a call or not? So I would love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for letting me vent and rant. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks for spending some time with me, and I will see you soon. Bye. So yeah,